Hello from London, Canada. My name is Andrew Ross Thibodeau and my wife Elizabeth. Our daughter Tori, our soon-to-be born child in June of 2008, are all planning on joining you at the gathering 2009. As soon as we heard about it last summer, we put it in our calendars and we've been so thrilled to be a part of it. We also plan on going with my in-laws, Tom and Christine Hunter. And today I just wanted to share with you why we're so excited about the gathering and why our family and my extended family might be an interesting family to follow on this journey back to Scotland. And my interest in Scotland exploded even further in 1995. I was 25 years old. I met this beautiful young lady at a social function at a university I was speaking at. And I go to meet her parents, and the first thing Tom Hunter says to me is, "Are you Scottish?" And I said, "Well, I'm part Scottish. My middle name is Scottish." She said, "Close enough." And soon enough, I learned that Tom and Christine Hunter had been raised in Scotland, born in Edinburgh in 1940, both of them. He's from Leith, she's from Granton, and they immigrated to Canada in 1972 with their 2 children and had my wife a few years later in 1976. I even called my wife because it was based on her card. At the function, she gave me her card. It said the Gales, and it turns out my in-laws are a wonderful Scottish folk band, folk group, just with wonderful voices, a great sense of humor, and they've been performing off and on for the better part of 30 years in Canada and even sometimes in Scotland. So I got married to my Scottish princess in 1998. And Scotland's become a huge part of my life. I've been there 5 times, including 3 visits as part of Clan Hunter worldwide gatherings at the Hunter Castle just in Ayrshire. In fact, last summer we were there for the 900th anniversary of the Hunters owning the same land there in Scotland. But I think a highlight, and to conclude my presentation, about what getting involved in my clan association and what interest in clan in Scotland has done for me comes in 2 forms. One, it's going to Scotland and meeting my wife's family, spending time with her aunts and uncles, staying with her cousins, visiting these cousins, and just visiting your beautiful country and that bonds of family that can extend across thousands and thousands of miles, and to have my baby playing with her Scottish cousins and building with Lego, and it just touches your heart. And I feel very blessed to have that as part of my life, that cross the Atlantic connection. But in my motivational speaking, you see I'm a full-time motivational speaker, and my audiences tend to be students age 12 to age 25. I encourage getting involved, and one way I stepped up for Clan Ross to get involved was I offered to host our national gathering in 2006 here in London. What Clan Ross in Canada likes to do is every couple years we like to honor somebody of Scottish heritage who's a Ross who's done something for Canadian history, or a group of people who've done something for Canadian history, and help in some sort of way restore their memory. Whether it was in Winnipeg, Canada, we helped to restore a section of a grave site because Ross helped found Winnipeg, and the Red River settlement, and we helped in the rebuilding of some gravestones. Or when they rebuilt the ship that brought the first Scottish settlers to Nova Scotia, Clan Ross made a contribution to that because there were Rosses on that ship. We discovered in 2004 that there was a great Ross by the name of Dr. Alexander Milton Ross, whose parents immigrated to Canada in the early 1800s, and he was born in Canada around 1820, 1830. Dr. Ross was Canada's greatest abolitionist, helping save and bring so many slaves up to Canada via the Underground Railroad. And we wanted to do something to honor his memory and set up and getting people to be more familiar with him. Where I live is about 45 minutes from the site of Uncle Tom's Cabin, one of the big terminuses of the Underground Railroad. And I was arranging a trip to the Underground Railroad as part of the gathering. We kind of went to go big or go home was our motto, and we decided to invite, I found out that Dr. Alexander Milton Ross's still has two great-granddaughters that are with us today, both living in England. I got in communication with them and invited them to attend our gathering, and they were just thrilled, and they ended up attending our gathering. Here we are, the two of them, Janet and Jillian, and featuring in a newspaper from the local newspaper where Uncle Tom's cabin was. But one of the highlights of my conversation with them was this. You see, my daughter's name is Tori, and Tori's middle name, first name, is from my wife's grandfather's middle name. My wife's grandfather was killed defending Singapore as a member of the British Expeditionary Force in World War II, and we named her in honor of the grandfather. We learned that Jillian and Janet were raised in Singapore and had to escape from Singapore when the Japanese invaded during World War II, and learned that my wife's grandfather was part of that force to help defend Singapore and hold the harbor while Jillian and Janet's family escaped. And when I told her this, Janet told me, "You tell your wife that your grandfather's sacrifice saved my family's life, that my father was literally on the last boat to get out of Singapore as he worked for the British government there. And now I have children, I have grandchildren because of the sacrifice that your grandfather made." So to have them come to Canada in 2006, meet my father-in-law, whose father helped defend Singapore, meet my daughter, named after my wife's grandfather, it just proved to me again that when you get involved, when you make a contribution, when you introduce people to genealogy, to their history, you create magical moments. And we're looking forward to more magical moments at the 2009 gathering. Look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you very much.